Yo, how you guys doing today? I have another one for you guys. We're going to be doing windowsills with an apron underneath. Just like right here. I already measured this one out for you guys. It's going to look something like this. Let me show you how to get it. So how we're going to do this is we're going to start out by measuring the inside of the window. So the furthest corner. So corner to corner. And that is going to be 58 3/4. 58 3/4. And then we're gonna make a line like that. Next step is to measure your depth, the depth of your windowsill. So that one's 5 1/4, and the other side is 5 1/8. And I'm gonna mark that just as I measured it, left side and right side. My next and final step of measuring out the windowsill is grabbing your speed square and propping it inside like this. And then checking what angle you have here for the windowsill. So in this case, we're gonna add a 1/16 of an inch on the angle. If my inside wall is going out, then my line is also gonna show that it's going out. So let's do the other side. So this one is gonna be more like 1/8 of an inch. So I'm gonna match that angle line. And I'm gonna make sure I mark that. So I'm gonna do 1/16 for that angle and 1/8 for that angle. So once you have that measured out, let's go downstairs to the saw and get it cut. So to start out, I wanna actually add 5 inches to my measurement that I started out with, which was 58 3/4. I'm gonna do a rough cut at 63 inches. All right, the look we're going for is basically these ears right here are gonna protrude the wall by 1.5 inches, like so. All right, when we're looking at these measurements here, 5 1/4 and 5 1/8, this is my left side and this is my right side. So let's go ahead and mark that from the back. Right now, this edge is the back side of our windowsill. So we're gonna measure to the front these two numbers. Now, I'm making these measurements about 2 inches inside. Because remember, we added a total of 5 inches to our inside measurement, so that gives us playroom. And so when I'm making these two marks, I'm actually going to make them about 2 inches inside. So let's do the other one. 1/8. Boom, right there. And once I make those marks, let's go ahead and flip around our windowsill so that our saw can cut from the back to the line without chopping out the front. Remember those angles that we marked? 1/16 in this direction. When I flip around my windowsill, I can now look at this line and I know to turn my saw that direction. So I'm gonna go 1/16 in, lock my chop saw in place, and I'm gonna eyeball my saw about 2 inches where I made that mark, and I'm gonna cut up to that line. And now I can go ahead and measure my inside measurement, which was 58 3/4. So I'm gonna make sure I mark that on the inside. And then remember those 5 inches that we added? It gives you some playroom just so you don't chop off too much. Now we're gonna turn our saw 1/8 to the right, like so. Lock our chop saw and get that cut. Press the All right, now with my speed square, I'm gonna go ahead and line up my square with the line that we drew, which is gonna be the depth of our windowsill. Make a straight line. Now with these measurements, let's find 1.5 inches on it and mark that from the inside of our windowsill. With the other side, boom, bam. And all you're gonna do with those measurements is just get a straight cut. We're gonna go ahead and route that edge. All right, you can either do this with your table saw if you have it set up, or with a jigsaw. I like to use a jigsaw because it's a little bit quicker. Now that my windowsill is cut out, I can go ahead and actually measure for my apron. So I go ear to ear, and all I'm gonna do is subtract a whole inch from the measurement. So right now I'm looking at 61 7/8. I just write down 60 7/8 so that my apron is half an inch inside from the ears. All right, now I'm gonna show you guys how to install it. So obviously, before you install it, clean the windowsill. Sometimes there will be foam, sometimes the drywall guys will leave some drywall. Go ahead and get that all cleaned up, flushed out. Now let's go check if our windowsill fits. All right, as you guys can see, those angles did pretty well. I think this is less than a 1/16 of an inch. I think we're good here. The window's a little bit bowed out. We can rip these edges, but honestly, I'm on a production project, so that's easily caulkable. All right, we're good on this side. All right, now let's go ahead and install this windowsill. So, what I'm focusing on first is getting my inside reveal here with the window frame evened out. Getting eye level with it is the best way you're gonna see if it's all level throughout. And I'm shooting the backside for now only. All right, before I shoot the rest of the nails on the inside, I want to get eye level from the side, and I want to see what my windowsill is doing, if it's bowing or not. One thing you have to know is that these window frames are sometimes installed very poorly, and they're wavy at times. So you can't really match up the reveal too much, because sometimes I match it up and my windowsill is also wavy. So we're trying to get the windowsill as straight as possible. So as you can see, it's a little bit bowed down. All right, now that I did that, my windowsill is pretty much straight. So your next step is to level out my sides. Pop your level on there like this. And with my pry bar and level, this is gonna be your tool to get everything leveled out. So I look where it needs to go, and I'm gonna go and shoot, and it's gonna be leveled. Now, for the final step to completely finalize this windowsill is we're gonna throw in some shims under, because there's some space between the windowsill and the drywall. In the future, that's gonna prevent anybody from, if they wanna sit on the windowsill or anything, it's not gonna sag over time. So pop some shims under there, chop it off, and then we're gonna throw the apron on there. All right, I know that I chopped this apron 1 inch narrower, so I'm gonna eyeball my 1/2 inch on one side. I'm going to shoot one nail, hold the apron, and run to the other side to check if it's even. So we got 1/2 inch there, and we got 1/2 inch there. Before I install this windowsill, I know that my 2x4, or the frame, is about 1.5 inches below where my windowsill is. Let's just shoot every 12 inches some nails. And then there you go. You got shims under there, you got the apron. After paint and caulk, this windowsill will just be indestructible. So, that is how you do your windowsill. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want more tutorials, liking and subscribing will motivate me and help me out a lot. So I appreciate it, y'all. Have a good one. See ya.